Right, good morning, everyone. Today is April 28th, 2025. I would like to call to order this meeting of the Anchorage Advisory Committee at 9 a.m. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Jennifer Rusk, present.
John Wesley Nash is here.
Sam Lurie.
Chris Riedel King.
Ed Schoonover.
Jim Vanderholt. Curtis Ludwig, Harbor Master.
And so we are missing Ted Longwell and Ron Fleming. And we will find out where they are. Okay, any public comment? Seeing none, we shall move on to the approval of the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look? Okay, we have Ron Fleming. Good morning, Ron. Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes from March 24th, and are there any comments or questions?
I have a comment, just a couple corrections that they don't need to correct on there, but I just saw the time was missing a 0, the 9 o'clock time. And the other correction was the permit for LCSO for the sheriff's office, or I think that's what it was supposed to be. It said LCEC
Okay.
for the electric. So I'm not sure what
All
it
right.
was, but we had all our permits, and that was just a typo.
Okay. Anyone else have comments on the minutes?
No. It was on that second.
I had one, and it said on the second page, Chair King will attend the April 21st Town Council meeting. I don't remember saying that, but maybe I did. I know that.
I think that was for when we were gonna do the permits and had to go. I think that's what that was for.
That I said I would if we needed to?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
all right. Just want to make sure about that. Okay, so change of the time to make 9 o'clock, LCSO rather than LCEC, and I was attending if needed. Any other comments? Do I have a motion for approval?
Sam, I move to approve minutes.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, minutes are approved. Okay, it was a big day yesterday. Cruiser Appreciation Day, held for the first time since March 25th of 2022. And I just want to say publicly, and I'm going to go through a lot of praise here, but I am so impressed by the committee, how well we all work together, and how much all of you gave of yourselves, of your time, of your commitment to this event. So I just want to go through and give everybody a bit of kudos, because I want the public to understand how much effort went into this and just how much we cared about this event. So I will start with Miss Jennifer. Your passion for the nonprofits shown in every way possible yesterday. I mean, you love what you do so much, working with the nonprofits. You have an amazing network. You know who to talk to. Your communication was called out by the nonprofits on how you kept them apprised of everything, and your organization, you were a drill sergeant when it came to getting, all of that stuff wrangled. I loved your setup. I thought it worked perfectly, so thank you very, very much for all that you did.
I couldn't have done it without all of you.
Well, we appreciate that. Mr. Fleming, you are new to our committee. You're the newest member. I appreciate all of the donations that you gathered for us. Appreciate your liaisoning with the fire department, and mostly appreciate your willingness to accept other duties as assigned and jump in wherever we needed you when you picked up heavy things, helped all the vendors.
No, they weren't heavy. I didn't pick them.
All right. Okay, you picked up mostly light things, but
Yes.
thank you very much for all of that.
I was surprised. I didn't know that the library still had tables, and they didn't. Those are new, and they're at least 50% lighter.
They're fabulous. The tables and chairs
same
were
with
great.
the chairs.
Yeah.
You know,
They were super. Mr. Nash, you are the king of organizing donation prizes. Thank you so much for wrangling all of that and for the donation prizes that you gathered on your own. You really handled everything perfectly. We had to sort of stop Ed when he got ahead of himself when we were trying to hand out the prizes, but I think it worked very well. So thank you for all of that.
Thank you very much. I really am really impressed on how well we worked together and came together as a team. I'd like to say to Jennifer, I honestly was very skeptical of the layout. I kept thinking, are we gonna make this work? Do we have too many people? And you had it perfect. And I should never doubted you. And I was very impressed with your experience and how well you handled everything.
Worked like a charm.
Thank you. Thank you, mister. Thank you, John.
All right, moving on to Ed. Thank you very much for, and thank you everyone for, your monetary support, your commitment to the effort, but you also were in other duties as assigned kind of guy. Thanks for the bringing of the cooler, which was very helpful, and thanks for moving everything. Every time I looked around, you had a dolly
was
and you were
moving.
moving some stuff
Moving.
from one place to
Making
another,
sure.
so.
Yeah, sure, when I wasn't hiding, yep.
Okay. Yeah, you did a great job. Sam and Ted, I wish Ted were here, but, again, thank you for your monetary support. And Sam and Ted are really our historians. I feel like you are our connection to the history of the Matanzas Pass mooring field. So thank you very much for keeping us connected to the mission. Whenever we sort of strayed, it was like, remember, boaters first. This is why we're here. We want to celebrate and recognize the boaters. Thank you very much for all that you did arranging the meals. You did a great job. That worked fabulously in the tiki. It was zippy, and I think everybody enjoyed a great meal. Thanks for the donations that you gathered.
The food was great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
So I really appreciate it.
And then also Ted's wife too. She helped a lot.
Yes.
And checking
Tina
in the
was
boaters.
amazing.
Tina was
So
awesome.
we
Yes.
definitely appreciated Tina checking in the boaters. She had it going on. Curtis, thank you and your staff, mostly you, for everything that you did. You handled our communication coordination very well, even though you had a lot of stuff flying at you. You also wrangled a lot of our supplies, and we appreciate everything you did. I know it was a tough couple of weeks getting there.
Yes, but I think we did it, and thank you, Chris, and thank all of y'all. I think y'all did an amazing job. I think it was a very, very successful event. I think it was pretty good for having it for the first time in 3 years, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
I think it was a great thing, and I can't wait to see how we're going to build on this
Yeah.
for next year.
Yeah.
So.
And Vice Mayor, thank you very much for all of your support and for guiding us through the council process and making sure that we got the approval that we needed so that we could carry on.
As someone who watched how hard you all worked, I have to say it was a phenomenal event, and how you're going to top this next year
Oh,
is
we
going to be
will.
a challenge, but I have no doubt that you will. Yep.
We will.
We're up to that challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took that notes page and I added information to it. So what you got sent in the email this morning is really a recap of everything that we did, all of the prizes, who won them, how many meal tickets we gave out. I did not include which boaters attended, but I've kept a sheet of that as I've given you one, Curtis, for reference. But I'm just interested in any other, sort of data. Do you have some, Sam? Were you able to
I
connect
do.
with Snug?
So
Okay.
my quick comments are Jennifer and Curtis over the top. That was so much effort, and Jennifer, you were did fantastic. And the spouse thing, John King really kicked in. He was helping us all day long, and it was really nice to see all the council people show up. They mingled and talked with everybody. They were available all day long. And Ted's wife, Tina, she helped out so much, and she helped out the entire day. So thanks to her. And Ed Ryan from Beach Talk
Yes,
Radio,
exactly,
Yes.
yes.
he brought his personality with him, and he just lifts everybody up, and he did a great job up on the stage. So it was It was a really fun event.
It was.
And thanks to the boaters, who
Yeah.
showed up, and also the two that were willing to speak and talk a little bit about their experience. I thought that was
They were
great,
excellent.
and I'm hoping we can do more of that. Sam, have you had a chance to talk with Snug yet? Tell us.
I have.
Okay.
So I did not settle up with them yesterday technically, but I did go up to the office. I will be going immediately after the meeting today, and if Curtis is available, he might not be available, but I'll take him with me. So the general count from Nicole, who was in charge of supervising the station there, was that we came within $100 of our 2,000. So she kept all the slips. We're gonna count them out between me and Leslie Donovan is the manager there. She'll be the one that's gonna be stroking the check when we submit it. I think they had just under the 80 meals. I know we gave out
85, 86.
we gave 85. I know I didn't
So-
use one of mine,
Yeah,
and there were
yeah.
a couple people didn't use theirs. And she said they only had a handful of the white public ones, but I'm gonna make sure that that counts towards our total
Okay.
of our minimum. But I don't know if I should make a motion now, that, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be right at the 2,000. It's got, that we fell just short, and we did have a $2,000 minimum. So I'd like to make a motion that the committee authorize, after confirmation, submitting to the town a disbursement for $2,000 to Snug Harbor for the meals.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
I will be meeting with them after this. I will get some type of just informal thing where I sign
Invoice
it.
of some sort.
Yeah, an invoice where I sign confirmation and Leslie from Snug signs it. I'll submit it to the town, and then we'll get them a check.
So
And
have
they were
all the
very
expense-
cooperative.
Have all the expenses been paid? Then, I mean, with this,
So, for Snug Harbor.
For Snug.
how about anything else?
There were
out
no
there?
incidentals with Snug, I think, just the total meals. And if for some reason, it's probably gonna be a 2,000 max. If some reason we have enough public to go over, those
Count toward
we'll
our-
only have to do the actual confirmations of the green slips.
So, a good question. I mean, what other incidentals did we have that came into the cost of putting on the event?
We pulled the permit costs, from the fire department and the payments that we had to make for that got pulled out. But that was only, I believe, a couple $100. I was gonna say, I'll get what's left over in our fund next meeting.
Okay.
After we make payment to Snug and all this stuff.
Okay.
I think that was our next biggest cost that we
Right.
had to pay for, but, everything else, we're good. I think we're
Okay.
gonna be in the green a little bit.
Yeah, we should
Um,
have hopefully about $1,300 left over.
Is that, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we
that's
had
what I was
30
trying to drill, I know it's a little early, but I was trying to drill down on what we have left.
Yeah,
When
didn't
when
we
we, next month, when we have our meeting, I'll have a
Okay.
balance of that for you.
Perfect,
Yep.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Just two comments. First off, everybody done a great job in getting in-kind contributions. They did a wonderful job of getting them to me, and everything worked out very, very well with that. The other comment I have is, I really would like to see us get some official name tags. That's something that really identifies us and makes us look as professional as possible. And I really don't think we should wait until next one. If we have the funds, I think we should move forward with that as soon as we can.
Well, you may have different members of the committee by the time you have another event like this, so you might wanna wait until we
Well-
get closer to that.
I wonder if, like the women's club, they have a basic shell and then they do some sort of a tape thing. I mean, a nice
Sure.
looking official tape thing that goes on
Yep.
it. So I'm wondering if we could do something like that, and then we could switch out the members.
Yep.
I really would like to see it as professional as possible. If we have changes, Ed, I can't imagine the name tags really costing that much. They're very cost effective, I think.
Well, especially if they're interchangeable, like the chair was just mentioning.
Yeah. And I can talk to the Women's Club and find out how they do their name tags, and I can bring that back.
Yeah.
So
Worked out great, but next year, we probably should start a little earlier.
Yes, okay, so yes, now we're kind of at the point where so many things went well. I mean,
Right.
really,
Not too many bumpy bumps.
no, I mean,
No.
I have done events for 40 years, and usually there's some sort of crisis that you figure out. And you know, unfortunately, we did have somebody who had a little bit of a medical issue. She is fine, as far
Good.
as I know,
Correct.
she's in the hospital. And there's nothing major that they have detected, but, you know, just to make sure that she's okay. But there really was nothing that we went, wow, this is not gonna work. So, you know, great planning for everybody, but I know we always wanna be better. We want to, you know, incrementally make this a better event for everybody. So I would love to go through some of the thoughts that you all have about what we can think about for next year, and then I'll add them to that document so we have everything in one place.
I'd just like to suggest for next year, if there's any opportunity to do it a little bit earlier in the season that we did, I think we'd be more successful with some of the mooring boats.
I know that we'll have more people in the town, not so much that that's a factor, or care about that, but it's, I will have, during season, I have more boaters in at that time. So I think that's, you know, I think that's when we need to do it, maybe in March, I think, like right before the season starts kind of dwindling down, you know?
So
Maybe
the
at the-
very end of March, are you thinking, maybe?
I think so. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
No,
but
we
I
should
think-
definitely discuss that. In the past, we've just waited until after Easter, just because, but
But Easter varies, so sometimes, you
yeah,
know.
we waited
Correct.
until afterward. But I think you're right about, we would get more attendance and there's gonna be more people in the field, if we did it during season. We just have to weigh that out when it comes around to picking a date next year.
And,
Yeah, we don't wanna be, in conflict with any other,
Event.
organization or
Yeah.
Right.
event,
Yeah.
and there's
And
a
make it
lot
so
of 'em
people can
during
get there with
season.
traffic.
Yeah,
Next year Easter is April the 5th,
oh,
so it's
yeah,
Early.
earlier.
way earlier.
So we could either do it and what do you think about day of the week? Did Sunday work well? Do you like Sunday going into the concert? We didn't get the traffic that I thought we might get with, you know, having the concert right after, but I don't think it was a bad thing.
No, I think it all worked well. I thought that we were gonna kind of run into some issues with the band setting up behind us, but it all kind of worked.
Yeah.
Worked pretty good.
Yeah, we
So-
had plenty of space.
And they were very cooperative. I like Sunday because I think it's a possibility of less conflict.
Yeah.
What about time? Do you think we should move it up and start at noon and go like noon to 3, or do you like the 1 to 3:30?
Oh, I actually seen a lot of people, and Sam, you can chime in on this. I seen a lot of people show up earlier.
Yeah.
People are ready earlier,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't hurt to start it earlier and, you know, get it going. That way people have the rest of their day also.
Yeah.
I agree.
And you
I
were
think
hitting
that's-
more of the lunchtime if you were starting at 12.
And maybe a little bit cooler.
Yeah, okay. Let's see,
Can I offer a thought,
You
just
sure
because it
can.
just popped in my head? I don't want to create any additional work, but I have to think, and I would defer to, I know, John, you do a lot of traveling, but I have to think this is somewhat unique, what we did, demonstrating appreciation and hospitality towards our mooring field customers. And I wonder if there are either online or even traditional hard copy publications that sort of follow the boating industry. And I wonder, and oftentimes they're often looking for content. And I saw people took some really good pictures and just a little bit of a story about what we did and how we welcomed these folks and appreciated them, and some nice pictures. I would think to the entities that travel, like John, I know you probably subscribe to them or at least look into them online, to submit that content. And I bet that could be, from a PR standpoint, really good for the mooring field and good for Fort
Yeah.
Myers Beach. Just,
If I may
Yeah.
interrupt you, I actually had a lot of the nonprofit and organizations asking if we had publications so they could offer those up to the Morningfield, guests, and so I think that's a great idea. Some sort of publication would have been wonderful.
But I'm thinking about the folks that are in that industry,
Right.
that the mooring, the people who go and travel in their boats, that they read on a regular basis.
Right.
If there's some kind of a trade magazine or something, or,
So there's a cruisers.net.
Yes.
Oh.
And I've talked with them. I can submit something
Yeah.
to them and see if they want to put it out on, because they give like a newsletter or as you will, like every week or month or something like that, and I can see if they want to promote that.
and I bet they're
Yeah.
looking for content, and it's free, and, you know, Chris is really good at packaging that, so,
Do
yeah.
we have anything that we hand out?
But I think we should have like a mooring field flyer.
Yeah.
The town does specifically has the newsletter that they put out monthly and stuff like that. So, and
Okay.
I'm sure that Nicole will put something in there
But
for
like
us on the next.
physical, I think you're saying, you
Like
know,
a
for events like
newspaper?
this, yeah,
Is that